Hey folks, Mike here from Ollie, and today I want to show you something that's going to help bring your WordPress websites to life, and that's Animation Designer, one of the powerful new extensions in Ollie Pro. If you've ever wanted to add smooth, professional animations to your WordPress site, you know it usually means installing a bulky animation plugin, or wrestling with custom CSS, or hoping your page builder has decent animation controls built in. And the problem is that most of these solutions, they often feel kind of bloated and overly complicated when it really just doesn't need to be. As part of our recent release of Ollie Pro extensions, we introduced Animation Designer, which brings beautiful, performant animations directly into the WordPress block editor in a way that feels like they've always been there. It blends seamlessly into the native interface with clean, intuitive controls right in your block settings where they belong. You also get fine-tuned control over duration, delay, distance, and whether your animations trigger on page load or when users scroll them into view. And for container blocks like grids and columns, you can create beautiful cascade effects where child elements animate one after another, guiding your visitor's eye exactly where you want it. But what really makes this powerful is the preset system that lets you save your favorite animation combinations and reuse them across your entire site for consistent motion design. Let's hop into WordPress and see just how easy it is to add professional animations to your blocks with Animation Designer. All right, here I am in the WordPress site editor, and I've already got a page designed with some Ollie Pro patterns from the agency collection, and I was able to just one click and add these beautiful designs that we can now work with. But I chose this design because it has some really nice columns and grids, and I think that will be helpful for showing off some of the Ollie Pro animations. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and start pretty simple, very high level, and let's animate a full section. So I'm going to click on this services section here in the sidebar. And there's a few ways we can add an animation. So I can come over here to the block sidebar and click the styles tab and scroll all the way down to the bottom where we've appended our animation feature. And I can start adding some animations here. Or a much quicker way is a animation option on the toolbar that I can click, and I can simply click add animation. And let me show you what happens if I'm not in that tab. If I click this and add animation, it switches over to that tab, scrolls all the way down, and we can see the animation panel down here at the bottom. So let's go ahead and add an animation. You can see we have a curated list of animation styles here. We don't have a ton of animations, and that's by design. We want you to have some really nice defaults to work with, and to keep your site not super distracting, keep it nice and clean and professional looking. And that's what these animations are meant to do. So let's go ahead and click the first one here, and you can see we can preview these as we select them. See the different styles, fade and right, zoom where we kind of zoom in, a pulse where we kind of zoom in and out, and we even have a scale on hover effect. And you can see that one will preview when we work with some card styles. So let's just go ahead and stick with this fade in one first. And you'll see we have a few different options down here. I can change the duration, how long that animation takes, or a delay. I can set an animation delay so it starts after, a few seconds or whatever you want. But let's go ahead and check out the front end. And you see if I refresh, I get the same animation I had in the editor. So it's just really nice, subtle animation. Now, personally, I don't love animating full sections like this because I feel like it's maybe a little distracting, a little visual noise. I just like to use animations a little more purposefully and sort of to draw users' attention to a certain area, certain features, etc. So I like to kind of dial it in a little bit more. So let's go ahead and remove that. And in order to remove that, I just come down here and I click this X. It says clear animation, and that's gone, and I can save it. All right, let's look at this column section. So I think this is a really cool way of showing off what's possible here. So what I'm going to do is I want to add an animation to the overall columns section, not these individual blocks in here. So I'm going to select that, and in Ollie Pro we have a shortcut to select the parent block. So if I hit Command Shift up, you can see I've selected the text group. If I do it again, you can see I've selected the column, and if I do it again, now I've selected the columns block that contains all of this stuff. So let's go ahead and add an animation. And just as I showed you earlier, I can use this button here, click add animation, and we can look through a few of them. I think I want to use this fade in up. And you can see we have the duration and delay options. And for animations that have movement, left, right, up, or down, we have a distance option. And this lets us determine how far the item is going to animate. So you can go all the way up to 200 pixels, and that'll generally give you more than enough movement, debatably too much, but it's in there if you want to, and there are use cases for it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that at like 35, and let's go ahead and look at what that looks like. All right, so you see we have a nice clean fade in up effect, exactly how we designed it, but we can go a few steps further, and I've added a really cool effect in here. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see animate columns sequentially. And what this does is if we save it and come to the front end again and refresh, you can see it fades in the items within the columns individually. So we get this nice cascading effect where this one scrolls, fades in, and then this one, and then this one with a small offset. And we can even change the offset here, and we can kind of make this, you know, a little bit longer, a little bit faster. If I come over here, you can see it's got a nice kind of slow fade in. I personally like it a little faster, so I'll probably dial that back down to 0.2. And so yeah, that's a really cool feature. It kind of adds a nice elegance and kind of a professional feel to your site. So that's that. But we can even take this a step further because, you know, you're going to want to add animations to more than just this one section. So I have columns down the page. I have this grid that I want to maybe add an animation to, and it would be painful to add these settings to every single block, not just on this page, but across your site. And so we've built a feature in here called presets. And what that does is it lets you take all of these settings that we've just dialed in, and we can save current settings as presets. So let's just call this grid animate and click save. And you can see we have a animation preset selector now, and it's selected grid animate. And if I save that, there's nothing different on the front end. It's still that really cool effect. But what I can do now is I can take that preset and I can come down here and select this grid. And when I click this animate button on the toolbar, there it is, animation presets. We have the preset we just saved. And if I click that and then save the page, come to the front end, now I can see that I'm applying that same effect across multiple sections. And this is really cool because this means that I can design an animation in one place, and I can use this not just on this page, I can use this on a dozen pages. And I get that very consistent design across a bunch of pages. And then if I ever want to come in and customize this animation, I can click edit grid animate and it comes over here, and I can dial this in and change the duration. Maybe I want to make it a little faster, and then I come over here, and this is going to update at every single place that I have this animation used. So it's almost like global animations, which is really cool because it creates a sense of consistency across your site. You know, that's a big thing with Ollie and Ollie Pro is creating design consistency for you. So you have really beautiful, predictable results. And when you throw in animations and you have that kind of, you know, beautiful, consistent motion design, you can really feel it as you're browsing the site. It actually matters a lot. So that is, and we can come down here again, and there's all kinds of, I can add it here to this grid, and I'm gonna get some nice consistent results across it. So that's presets, super powerful. Now, I'm gonna show you one more thing that I think is a cool use case for this. I'm gonna come over here and let's add a background to this and some padding like this, kind of make it more of a card style. Take a look at that on the front end. So we have this nice kind of card style. And one thing I see a lot of people do with these is, let's actually remove the animation here. And what we can do is we can also animate individual items like this column. And one animation we have in here that works well for that is, if we come down here, scale on hover. And what that does is when you hover over this item, we're going to get a scale effect. So let's go ahead and save it and check it out. And you can see we have this this scale up effect on hover. And that's really cool when you have a grid of cards. So let's go ahead and save this as a preset as well. Let's make it a little faster, and we'll call this card hover, like that. And then we can add that here, card hover, and here, card hover, save. And of course, we don't have the same styles on here, but you can see we get that like really cool effect across this grid. And again, this is, you know, just a way of drawing some attention and just making your content a little more lively and engaging. You know, try not to overuse it. You want to use these things sparingly because too much of it can really kind of distract the user. But the way we've built this and the kind of the presets and everything kind of wrapped around Ollie Pro and the design system that we have in there really gives you some beautiful results out of the box, and just makes your websites that much better, that much faster. These animations are super performant. We've really dialed them in. They're accessible. And we really just take this thing really seriously to make sure that you're getting the best possible website. All right, folks, that's the Ollie Pro animations feature. I hope you check it out soon. We're already seeing users create some really beautiful websites with these Pro extensions combined with the Ollie design system. If you're not an Ollie Pro member yet, I encourage you to check it out. It's quickly becoming the go-to way to build beautiful, blazing fast websites in the WordPress site editor. We have a library of hundreds of pixel perfect patterns and page layouts. We have a setup wizard that helps you create site in seconds. And now we have these powerful extensions like Animation Designer and Menu Designer that bring a professional level of site building to the block editor. All right, folks, that's it for this video. I'll see you next time.